Automation 360 Release version 30 introduces several new features that improve enterprise security. These include the ability to create customized system roles with greater granularity to align permissions using the principle of least privilege, the ability to configure a network proxy for outgoing communication from the control room, and enhanced OAuth 2.0 support for SaaS applications and REST web services. Jake is the automation admin responsible for his company's automation security. He wants to take advantage of a server hosted on the cloud, and he wants to use the centralized token lifecycle management capabilities that OAuth 2.0 provides. Let's see how he enables this. His on-prem deployment uses a forward proxy, and in the past, the control room was not able to connect to the internet because the control room services did not have the context of network proxy information. This was a huge challenge for Jake, who wanted to use a server which was hosted on the cloud, but was unable to do so because it was unreachable due to the presence of his network forward proxy server in his company's network. But with this new capability, Jake can now use the server hosted in the cloud by simply configuring the network proxy details in the control room settings. Jake configures the network forward proxy and provides the details in the settings. Jake now wants to create a user-defined role with truly customizable permissions. In the past, some of the permissions were available only to system-defined roles, but now with Release 30, those permissions are available on the Roles page so that any custom role can be configured with all possible permissions. This means Jake can create or modify user-defined roles with all possible permission combinations supported by the Automation 360 product. Jake will create an OAuth manage role and will add all required permissions for users to consume the OAuth connections via the control room. Jake can then add that role to existing user accounts so that they too can use the centralized token lifecycle management capabilities of OAuth 2.0. Jake then proceeds to create the OAuth connection. He navigates to Manage OAuth Connections. He clicks the link to create a connection. The callback URL must be configured in the Enterprise Application Configuration settings to connect to the control room. Jake provides the connection setting details. He then provides the Enterprise Application Authentication details, such as grant type, client ID and secret, authorization URL, token URL, and optionally scope. Jake can then optionally save the login credentials and generate a shared token that can be used in automations where the user context is not needed, such as an unattended case. He can also test the connection if he desires. Testing will allow Jake to test if the connection is successful. A successful connection will require Jake to log in to the SaaS application using his credentials. Once entered, the authentication and authorization flow is completed. Jake can now select the roles that he wants to use for this connection. He selects the previously created OAuth Manage role. Then he creates the connection. Now the OAuth connection is available for the consumption of users who are part of the OAuth Manage role. Marcus is a developer, and he is one of the users belonging to the OAuth Manage role, so that he can consume OAuth connections. Marcus has received a notification to complete the authentication and authorization with the SaaS application which he has completed. Marcus has created a bot using the OAuth connection he has been authorized to use. Marcus now selects the control room OAuth connection that was created by Jake. He then selects the provider type and the connection name to complete the configuration. No hard-coded passwords are needed. The automation at runtime will request the control room to provide the token, which is stored securely within the credential vault. As a result of these security enhancements to Automation 360, automation admins like Jake can enable third-party applications to access user data securely while making their control room communications to the internet more secure.